Hello, Lisa here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time stopping by to visit me. Today I'm going to be sharing with you all of the decks and books and miscellany, mostly decks and books. I don't think there's any miscellany that have come into my home this last month or so. So these are decks I've purchased or have been sent to me for review. Actually, there may not be any review things, but that's the kind of gist, right? These are things that have come in that I want to share with you. And my idea here with sharing these with you each month is that ideally, you will just let me know. If there's something here you want to see something more in-depth, an in-depth dedicated video, a full deep dive, that kind of thing. And I use that feedback to sort of plan out my content for the next month. So if I show a deck in this video that you really want to see more about, definitely let me know. But this is a great way for me to just share what's been coming in and my initial thoughts, a few first impressions, and we'll just keep it moving. So that's what we're going to do. I do have a couple of books to show. These first two are just a frivolous thing that I just would love a little bit of feedback from. So these are two independently published children's books that I purchased on Amazon just to sort of get a feel for children's book sizing and feel. These are the sizes I'm trying to choose between. So I believe this one is about 6 by 9, and I think this one is roughly A5. So this is a journal that holds roughly A5. Yeah, so this is basically maybe a little smaller than A5, but it's like roughly A5. So I'm looking into this for Kickstarter planning, the deck that I'm working on. So if you don't know, I'm creating a tarot deck called the Unicorn's Journey Tarot. And one of these stretch goals I'm hoping to create is a children's book story that I've written. It's a rhyming story that accompanies the major arcana of the deck that could be available. So I purchased these because they're kind of roughly around the same page count as the little children's book would be. This is probably roughly what it would look like. And I'm kind of leaning, I think, towards this one, but I just wanted to get some feedback. So this is sort of roughly what we'd be looking at size-wise. This is a story called Sloth Takes a Picture that, frankly, I haven't read, but this is the idea. Now, my story will have sort of framed, or maybe not framed, but pictures of the major arcana cards and then text. Usually, you know, text here, picture here, that kind of thing. That's roughly the layout. So this layout isn't really it, but it gives you an idea of sort of that's what that size would look like. And for reference, do I have something for reference? Here's the Outgrow Yourself, just so we can kind of get a reference, I guess, for the sizing. So here's an Outgrow Yourself card next to this picture book size. And then this one, which is called Big and Small by Marion Murray, is a little bit smaller. But again, I like this shape. Like I like this portrait style shape because of course I'm going to have tarot shaped, you know, images. So that gives you an idea of kind of the sizing for this. But I don't have little kids. So if you have kids, they don't have to be little, but if you have kids, any thoughts on these two sizes? So here they are kind of all stacked up so you can kind of see. I'm kind of leaning towards a smaller size, but I just think it's so cute. And I just feel like at this page count, it just feels like really nice. But there's my hand. I don't know. You tell me. What do you think? If you have kidlets or if you have children's books in your collection, just paperback. I can't do hardback at the page count that I have. It's just a whole process. But this is kind of roughly what I'm thinking. So I bought these literally just to check them out. And I also wanted to see what the color printing quality was like, what the paper quality was like on an independently published children's book. So I wanted to see these in person. So that's why I brought them in. Curious. Let me know if you have feedback down below. Again, this is something I'm hoping to do as a stretch goal for my campaign. So it'd be like a stretch goal add-on that people could maybe add to their pledge if we hit that stretch goal. But let me know your thoughts. I've still got to do all the layout and stuff with my story, but yes, please provide feedback. Thank you very much in advance. But that's why I brought those in. I'll probably read them eventually. The Big and Small one looks especially really cute. And then I also scooped up this was an impulse purchase, actually. I am a big sucker for poetry books that have a particular style. Do you think I could describe to you what that style is? Probably not. But I was walking into Reflections, which is my local metaphysical store that I shop at semi-regularly, and it's my favorite. It's close by, and this book was just sitting up on their counter. It was the last one, and it is called All Along You Were Blooming, Thoughts for Boundless Living by Morgan Harper Nichols, and it's a collection of poetry, and it just immediately grabbed me. It's a really nice, like, hardbound book with a ribbon bookmark. The print's a little bit on the small side for me personally, so here's a good one. Go in search of more when you are unraveling into severed threads. New stories are waiting to be woven, and you can hope for new beginnings. This does not mean your journey will be easy, but moving forward is an act of faith, step by step, even when you cannot imagine the tapestry on the other side of this, and no one can take your faith away. I love this kind of thing. It's kind of, maybe the best way to describe this, it's a straightforward style of poetry, like I know what it's telling me. But this is also just a beautifully produced book. So this one says, you might have a little fire in you, a little rain, a little thunder, a little wind in your sail too. You might have a bit of your mother in you, your grandmother, her mother, a beautiful old soul you feel connected to. And with all of these many parts, you were made to shine unapologetically bright, even when you do not know where to stand, even when the lighting is not right. So don't let anyone tell you you have to have the way you are all sorted out before you walk through your cave of doubt into your life that is happening now. And whether the way you come alive is through your words, your humor, your tenderness, your song, now is the time to share what has been in you all along. A full-color soul lined with gold and a million stories that make you who you are. So this is the kind of thing, I have a little like sort of mini collection of poetry books like this that I keep by my bed, and I just every once in a while will just like, it's almost bibliomancy style, I'll just pull one out and flip to a page and just read. And this one seems very focused on sort of self-worth and self-love and compassion and gentleness, and yeah, I just love this kind of thing. It's like a treat for my personal soul, and I'm really excited to get into this. So this is called All Along You Were Blooming. Really excited about that. And it's so pretty, and it's hardbound, and I don't know, I love things like this. They feel like little luxuries, you know? And I actually had gone to Reflections because I had asked them to order this in for me. The Tree Keeper's Oracle by Angie Sullins with artwork by Stephanie Law. US Games decks, getting them in Canada has been a pain in the butt, but one thing that I have been able to do consistently, and I definitely encourage you to do, in general, it definitely helps support your local shops, but most of the time your local metaphysical shops, if you're also in Canada, they can bring in US Games decks through their distributor. So ask them, they will bring them in. Sometimes you have to wait a while. I had to wait, right? Like it's fine. Like when they could get it, they got it, and that's great. And I've just been waiting and waiting, and I'm so excited to get my hands on this. So this Stephanie Law rather, is the artist that did the Shadowscapes tarot. Let me grab my copy of that. Now this is actually my second copy of Shadowscapes because my first one was the Llewellyn edition, the standard Llewellyn edition, and it was the full box set. I still have that set, it's just in storage, because I kind of messed up the edging on it, and it was that sort of smaller, like, the artwork is so detailed. And I found out that you could get the Czech edition. I don't know that you still can. I think it's out of print again or unavailable again, but for a while you could get the Czech edition, which is on a slightly thicker cardstock, and the cards were bigger, so that once these were trimmed, they are roughly the same size. In fact, here is the Outgrow Yourself again, so you can kind of see. Yeah, they're only a tiny bit smaller when fully trimmed borderless than a standard size tarot card. So the art itself is bigger, and once it's trimmed borderless, it just looks really beautiful. And then what I did is I used a silver Sharpie to note the card either number or rank, and the element if it was a minor arcana, so that I always knew what I was looking at. And it's not super crazy, like obtrusive down here in the bottom corners, but that works for me. And it's such a beautiful, beautiful deck. And I mean, this one has a very, very solid place in my heart. It's the only deck, as far as I can recall, that I was ever given as a gift for my kids. It means a lot to me. So that is the Shadowscapes. And so when I found out that she was working on another deck, an Oracle deck, and Angie Sullins was going to do the guidebook, I was very excited because I already love Angie Sullins' writing. So it says here, as legend and druids can tell you, there are places on the planet where the veil between worlds is thin and the trees are guardians of these sacred spaces. And they include what is this called? A organza bag, which is awfully nice of them. We know what I'll be doing with that, which is like, actually, what I do with these, I should say, so I don't like spoil it. I do keep these. These are really marvelous for doing bath teas. So you put a bunch of herbs in these, you tie them off, you throw them in your bath, and then you can have lovely bath teas. Or if you like to use bath bombs and they have lots of like bits in them, you can put them in one of these and run it and put it in your bath, and all the messy bits of the bath stay kind of contained, and you can have a lovely scented bath but with none of the mess, or at least a lot less of the mess. So I do use these, but y'all know I'm spoiled by my Peggy bags, so I will be putting this in a Peggy bag, but there we go. Anyway, we have a guidebook here. I do wish, personal thing, because I love Angie Sullins' writing so much, and I do like to put these decks in bags, and these, I prefer when the book is the same size as the cards, so that when I put it in a bag, let's just pull this out. When I put it in a bag like this, there is a chance that the book will sort of curl around the cards and sort of become misshapen over time. But if it's the same size as the cards, that doesn't happen. So I prefer when it's the same size as the cards, but because I love Angie's writing so much, I'll probably keep them together. This is a small Peggy bag, and I don't think it'll fit. I think it'll go in a standard. Yeah, it's going to be too snug to go like that, but a small is actually the perfect size for the cards themselves. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a bummer. I would prefer if the book was the same size. Am I done complaining yet? Probably not. I'm sure I'll be picky about something else too, but these are just like little nitpicky things I think about. The box itself though is beautiful. I love the magnetic and the scalloped edge. Oh my gosh, so pretty. This is not a full review, Lisa. Keep it moving. Okay, anyway, we'll take a look at the book in a second. Let's just take a look at the backs and the edges. So let me know if you want me to do a full deep dive on this deck, but let's get a feel for the artwork. It's so pretty. And of course it'll make just such a beautiful like companion with shadowscapes. Like I'm just so excited about how these will work together. Oh, which means my shadowscapes may come into a much more regular rotation because, oh, am I doing the thing? I am doing the thing. I'm going to keep them in order. Oh, I've already messed it up. You know what? I'll fix it later. It's fine. If I do a full walkthrough, I want to put them back in order. But anyways, let's just take a look. Oh, look at the redhead. Keeper of fairy tales, keeper of intuition, keeper of truth, keeper of endings. Oh, keeper of the wild, which is I think the design we see on the back here. No, but it is reminiscent, isn't it? It's reminiscent, but it's not identical. Keeper of beginnings, of sharing, forgiveness. Oh, this is so beautiful. So I'm very excited about this. Let me know if you want a more dedicated video getting into it. I'm hoping, let's see, are there, I mean, like this is just a beautifully produced book. Look at all the color and the artwork. I do not have the skill to put something like this together. So I'm really in awe of it. It's really beautiful. I love all these little like tidbits of the artwork showing up over here and just really, really gorgeous. So excited to get into that. Oh my gosh, look at the Keeper of Innocence. Oh, okay. I can't get lost in this right now, but I'm very, very excited about this. And I have been waiting quite a while to get it in my hot little hands. So I'm really excited to have this handy. All right, let me put it up here, I guess. Okay. And I guess I'll put away my shadowscapes for now. But lately I feel like I've been, especially for client readings, I've been very frequently using decks that have an oracle that I feel like is very well paired to it. So that's what I meant when I said it might come into regular rotation. Okay. What else has come in? There's like this pile of things. Okay, so also at Reflections, I had asked them to order me in, also from US Games, this little Crow Tarot Pocket Edition. So I had the full size of this deck some time ago, and I did let it go because I just wasn't using it. However, Peggy and I have Crow friends now that are like a part of the family practically at this point. So I have a relationship to crows that I never had in the past. And so this just it just hit different. And so I wanted to pick up this little Crow Tarot Pocket. And I have to say, like, I'm pretty excited about this little deck. It is beautiful at this size. I had the big one and it was lovely. But I feel like MJ Cullinan's artwork does translate really nicely to this pocket size. I love that the borders stayed the same. The colors stayed the same. They've got a beautiful kind of gloss on them, which of course, you know, not always great for photos, but like amazing just for colors to pop and stuff. It's so pretty. So I want to see how this shuffles because this feels like a really nice little size. Like, let's see if I can compare it to anything. So here is the Valuria's Tarot. This is a rock pool deck. And this is their sort of pocket. So that's kind of how it compares there. Let's grab a different one. So here is a Lo Scarabeo mini. This is the Nicoletta Ciccoli mini. I really like this shape and size a lot. So it's even a little bit bigger. Proportions are very similar, but it's a little bit bigger than that. And then let me grab a kind of standard tarot in a tin. This is the Universal Weight Tarot in a tin. And I think, finally, so that's an exact match. So if you like that tarot in a tin size, oops, then you'll know exactly what size you're getting with the Crow Tarot. Now the borders on the majors and the aces, and I think the courts, are a little bigger on the bottom. Yeah, than the numbered minors. So the artwork gets a little smaller than this. But then again, it's basically the same. It's basically the same. That's the punchline. So it's Tarot in a Tin size. I really like this size. I also really like, I just want to see how it compares to another size that I really like. And this is the Tarot of Oneness mini edition. Ooh, that was my fault because I have a guidebook on the bottom. Yeah, which is just a little bit narrower, but similar. So I really like this size too. This is probably, these are like my favorite sizes. When they get too much smaller than this, like I have the little mini Llewellyn ones. I'm just going to keep comparing apparently. This is my Everyday Witch mini that lived in my purse forever. I have it in a very snug fitting bag that was before Peggy changed the sizes of her micro bags, but you can really see sort of the difference here. So this is those little Llewellyn minis. Yeah, see, it's quite a difference. So I think of these three, these two sizes are my favorite. This is just a touch small for me personally, but I really like these two sizes. So anyways, that's a lot to babble on about the size, but y'all, this is where my brain goes these days with things like this. So let me put away my mini decks. All right. Anyway, all this to say, I now feel like I have a relationship with crows, and when I do my member readings, I've been setting up lately a little crow cam. Let's see how it shuffles at this size. This cardstock feels like it's got a little bit of give to it, which is nice. Oh yeah, okay, so it feels a tiny bit stiff, but not like, US Games put out some that had this like really stiff kind of feel. It doesn't feel like that, and that shape lets it shuffle nicely. I can get a good bend in it. It's not like crazy flexible, but it works. So that, really excited about that. Anyway, and this kind of deck is so great for larger spreads, which is what I tend to reach for my minis for, right? So good. I feel like either me or the camera is crooked and I don't know which. Oh well, anyway. So anyways, that's a lot of babbles about the Crow Tarot. Is it called Pocket? Yeah, Pocket Edition. And I love that we still get a little guidebook, which looks pretty great. It looks like they just saved space by not, you know, formatting it in any kind of special way. They've just got it going, you know, one entry into the next, which is totally fine to save space. But this guidebook actually feels usable at this size, which is great. So yeah, super cute. Very happy I have that. So those are my two US Games decks. Now I also got in, and I have feels, y'all. I got in the Bohemian Gothic Tarot, the new edition. This was a risk on my part, and I knew it. And I don't like it. That's a punchline. So it comes in this wooden box. I'm not a fan of these wooden boxes. Like I think it's great, I guess, as a keepsake. It's kind of neat if you're going to put this on a shelf and like not use it, I guess. But if you're going to use it, like I hate that the box stops here. This is so annoying because then in order to get your cards out, you got to do this awkward like tipping out thing. I hate that. And this, here's my issue. I'm super sad because I actually really love the changes to the artwork. There's a lot of cards in here that I prefer over my previous edition, which I also have here. But see, I loved these cardboard clamshell boxes. They were easy to use. You know, they were easy to use. They were functional, which is the point, I suppose, that I'm like kind of looking for. But let me pull out, what was I just at? The chair. Here, let's pull out the Emperor, because I think that card's the same. And I'll show you. See, I really like this High Priestess. She's new. Oh, this might be growing on me a little bit in this lighting. When I first looked at it, I was under fluorescent lighting, and the cold foil stamping was so intense. Yeah, see, it kind of is here. So you know how when it shifts into the light, the cold foil stamping, there's so much of it that it really just obscures the image. And I had this problem with the Victorian Romantic, which I wasn't as motivated to like worry about it because I wasn't as fond of the Victorian Romantic. That was also a bit of a risk. But here, if it had been more delicate, I have two decks by the same creator that are more delicate. The Mythical Creatures Tarot and the Alice Tarot editions that I have, the cold foil stamping is much more delicate. And when I tilt it in the light like this, it doesn't go, see how it goes kind of flat? Like it's too much. Like I can't really pick out the details. Whereas here, I've got this almost photo quality image. You can see when I shift both of these in the light, like it's not that it's not pretty. It's definitely pretty. But I do really like a lot of these versions of the cards. So that was my favorite Lover's card from before. And the Chariot's the same. Yeah, see, I really like Strength. But some of these cards have changed. Yeah, see the Chariot, or what's that? Yeah, this has changed, which is really interesting. There's actually quite a bit of changed artwork. So I don't know. I may spend some more time. In my home lighting, this is actually not as distracting as it was when I first looked at it. But again, if I shift it just right, it just becomes kind of... I don't feel like I can appreciate the foil accents. It's just too much for me. And that's just a personal taste thing. I was chatting with my friends about it, and I think I was the only one that like kind of felt that way. I'm curious to see, actually, because this Six of Swords is a little bit on the grainy side, and I wonder if they fixed that. Yeah, some of them, just the way that the cold foil stamping, and I was really excited for the cold foil stamping, actually, but here's another example of one that I struggle with. Look, this is the Eight of Wands, but like when the light catches it, it's like all you get is silhouette. Like it's so hard to pick out anything of the artwork. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. But again, I really like, yeah, see, I don't like, here's another one where I can't. So I really like the deck in theory. I just am not fond at all of the way the cold foil stamping just makes it so hard to see. And I don't know if that's, I'm sure it's intentional. I mean, and the cold foil stamping is an awesome process. Where was that? Six of Swords. There we go. Okay, no, it's the same image. I feel like when the cold foil stamping is done in a more minimal way, it like adds this depth to the image. But when it's done like this, where it's just everywhere, like it's everywhere, it just doesn't have the same effect. I also got to say, I kind of prefer the backings of this edition. So I've got to do some thinking and figure out if this new edition is for me or not, or if I should just stick with my original edition, which of course I've spent more time with. I don't know, y'all. We'll see. I really don't like these boxes. I feel like such a brat, but it's just not, those boxes are not for me. These are great. I can pop them in my bag. I can carry this around. It's not clunky. It's got no sharp edges. Yeah. Feelings. I have feelings. So that was a bit of a bummer. And I wasn't expecting so many of the art changes, and that's the thing that makes me the most sad, because I really like all of the choices made in this version. But yeah, I don't know if I can get past. We'll see. We'll have to see. Time will tell. I'm not going to be in a hurry to sort it out. We shall wait and find out. But for now, it's a wait and see for me, for sure. So that came in. Set that to the side up here. Also, what came in, this was a Dustin and Danny made me do it. There is this, like, I don't know if that's my fingerprint. There's like a shiny spot on my box right there. I don't know why. I bet that's me. It's probably just me touching it when I had like put lotion on or something. Hopefully it's gone. Anyways, I'm all over the place, y'all. Can you tell? Anyway, the Candle in the Cave Tarot deck. This was not on my radar at all. I don't remember if I covered this in a Hot Takes and I blew it off. I don't remember. But Dustin and Danny got their copy. I think one of them backed it on Kickstarter and the other one purchased it. I don't know. But they were talking about it. I got sucked in. Such is life. This is how it goes. This is gorgeous. I don't know how I missed it. But when I think, I love magnetic boxes, but why? Why doesn't it open all the way? Am I the only one? I don't know. I like it when they open all the way. Anyway. Wow, y'all. You're hearing all of my picky stuff. Why is there a box in a box? Listen, apparently you caught me on a day when I am nitpicking the crap out of everything. Anyways, I'm really excited about this. I'm not excited about the additional box to have to get into. I hate these. Y'all, I'm so whiny. What is my problem? I'm having a cranky day. Okay, I'm going to do something that looks really scary, but I'm going to slide very carefully my Athame. Oh, there we go. And just very gently pry it open so that I don't rip anything, because yeah, it's really easy to rip those. Okay. Anyway, tuck box in the box. I'm just going to, it's not going to matter to me. I need to remember it's not going to matter to me because I'm going to end up putting this gigantic box in storage, most likely, even though I like the wraparound. Like, it's a very nice presentation. It's just a lot of packaging. On the other hand, for those people who really like tuck boxes, this is great because then they have a more portable version of the box to kind of carry around the deck with. So, like, practically, that might be a really nice touch. I'm just the type of person that pulls it out and sticks it in a bag. So less practical for me personally. But anyways, let me show you a few of these cards because this is freaking gorgeous. This is the folk themed deck. I guess folk art feeling deck that I feel like I've been wanting. I love this sun card so much. There's definitely a sweetness to this artwork. It's all earth tones and long flowing hair. It feels like every card feels like it could have come out of a fairy tale book, like an illustrated fairy tale book. But it's very Rider-Waite-Smith. It's very easy to read. It's so calming and grounding to look at. It feels very earthy and like mythological. It's got a feel, feeling-wise, like energetically, it actually feels a lot like the Slavic Legends Tarot to me in a way. It's got that kind of earthy, grounded, I'm going to keep using the same words over and over again, kind of feel. I really need to go back and check the Nine of Cups. 7, 8, 9. Oh, it's like a fawn. Oh, I like that. It is dark to look at, I will say. But when I'm looking at it in person and like when I'm looking at it face on, a lot of times I end up habitually looking in my viewfinder when I'm doing videos like this, even though I don't need to. Now that I don't have, I'm trained because I used to have like a tripod or monopod that I had to reach my arms around. So I was used to having something in the way of my view. And I just haven't quite broke the habit of looking in the viewfinder. Anyway, when I look at it dead on though, I love this cardstock too. You can tell it's like a really nice matte, but it feels luxurious. It doesn't feel papery, but it also doesn't feel rose petally. It's possible it's a matte lamination and maybe they've improved them, but it's probably a coating. Y'all don't care about that stuff, I'm sure, but I'm just in babble mode. Look at this King of Swords. Anyway. Oh, swords are at the end, hey? So did we start with Pentacles? I love this edging too, this like chocolate, deep chocolate brown. Yeah, we go Wands, Cups, Pentacles, Swords, which is fine. Look at the King of Pentacles. Oh my God. Look at the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, this has just got a very, very comfy, cozy feel, cozy vibes. Very autumn winter to me, just the feeling of it. Very storybook. And then we have this beautiful big guidebook, which is great. I love it when if I'm gonna read the guidebook, I love when there's full images. It's not always easy to do because if there's a lot of text, this text is pretty dang small. Yeah, but we have an upright, a reversed, a write-up, and a journal prompt, which is awesome. Cool, cool, cool. Ooh, and then in the majors, we also get crystals and herbs or flowers, as well as a journal prompt. That's awesome. Nice. Okay, cool. So I'm really excited about that and getting to know it a little bit better. I'll be putting it through its paces during my member reading live stream, so I'll get a better feeling of how it reads and kind of how it feels to work with, but I'm very excited to get to know it a little bit better. So that is Candle in the Cave Tarot by Caitlin Crisco, and the artwork is by Annette Perso. So I'll put this back in its little, oh boy. Okay. It's a very nice presentation, but it does end up being a rather large box. And then, this one's a bit of a confession. So, some of you may have seen, because I flipped out, that I got the Witch Sister Tarot, Julia Jeffrey. This blew me the heck away. I was very, very excited about it. Now, some time ago, I had the Tarot of the Hidden Realm. But I had a number of things happen with this deck. One, I really messed up a mod of this deck, and it just really... it made the cards not look nice, and I hesitated to use it because of that. And I think at the time I just wasn't really ready to work with this deck. I worked with it. I liked it. I love the guidebook by Barbara Moore in here. It's really good. It's very narrative style. If you like that style of guidebook, you'll really enjoy this. Like the scenes and the cards are described as if you're in a story, which I'm a huge fan of that. So I rebought it. Anyways, that's the punchline. And I can remod it if I want or don't mod it. But I'm really happy to have this back. And I couldn't have the Witch Sister Tarot and pass up an opportunity to also have this back in my collection. So I picked this up again. And I would say arguably of the two decks, this one is, I would say, more RWS by far than the Witch Sister Tarot, which feels to me more like a really deep dive into sort of the deep wild power of Scottish history and Scottish folklore and Scottish witchcraft. So this, though, feels very fae, very story, and just I feel like a little bit more accessible as far as just pulling it out and doing a reading with. So I'm really excited to have this back, to be honest. Really excited. But yeah, I repurchased it because I needed both of the Julia Jeffrey decks in my hands. And I hopefully won't mess up this mod, but this was one of the first decks I modded, and I'd edged it in something, and then the edging got everywhere, and it wasn't the right color, and it just frustrated me. So maybe that's petty, but I have it back now, so I'm pretty happy about it. And lastly, this just came in, so I'm going to pull this in so that the box is already open because my address is on the other side. This just arrived literally today, the day that I'm filming this video, and it is the Diviner Definitions Oracle, which I backed on Kickstarter. Y'all, I'm so excited about this, but I had to show what the creator did because I thought this was so great. Inside are all of these, like, bits of pages, like shreds of pages from Dictionary or Thesaurus. So you get all these words on the packing material. I thought that was very, very clever, and I just had to show it off because it made me happy. The Diviner Definitions, if you missed this on Kickstarter, this is a really, really cool oracle deck. It is a dictionary oracle deck, and it's all about the power of words. So what it says on the back, rediscover the power of words. It's a 111 card oracle deck and dictionary themed guidebook, and it focuses on the importance, power, and vibrancy of your words. Printed on a seamless gradient background, the card colors echo the basic vibration each word carries. So you get the color energy and you get the word energy. As you pull cards, you can watch the colors weave together and witness the more complex magic of language unfold. So it's designed for both beginners and professionals and can be used alone or as a companion to further define the cards from another deck. So really, really excited this came in. Like, look at this rainbow gradient box. Like, how beautiful is that? So pretty. And of course, we've got holographic, like rainbow holographic cards. I mean, it is 111 cards, so it is massive. I have no idea how, actually, it feels like it's got a good bendiness to it. So I think that, oh my gosh, look at it. It's so pretty. I think shuffling it's probably going to be okay. It's going to be a lot, though. I feel like that's a lot of cards. I mean, 30 more than a tarot. Let's just see. Do we shuffle it right away? Let's just see if I could potentially get my, oh, I will be able to. Okay. It's going to be a stretch, but it's definitely doable. Are we in alphabetical order? We're not, right? Okay. No, but we start with red. And then the little guidebook literally says Diviner Definitions Dictionary. And this is by Dr. Michael Anthony. And the way the guidebook is formatted is literally like dictionary entries. As somebody who has spent like a good part of a year and a half literally just buried in dictionaries and thesaurus because I was just really working on a book that leaned heavily into words, this makes my heart really happy. Like really happy. So using something like this as an oracle, I'm beside myself. So as an example, you get the word, you get the pronunciation of the word, phonetic, just like you would in a dictionary. And then you get a few different meanings. The point, so origin, the point at which something begins or rises or from which it derives. Something that creates, causes, or gives rise to another, and one's social background or ancestry, right? Impact, the action of one object coming into forcible contact with another. The effect or influence of one person, place, thing, or action on another. To fill up, congest, or throng, and to press firmly, and so on and so forth. And so if you pull this as an oracle card, right? Support. And I'm feeling, let's just see, let me think. Origin, impact, instinct, support. These feel very root chakra. Dwell, yep, strength, ground. Ooh, this is interesting. Is this going to be another chakra deck for me? Okay, and then we're moving into oranges. Oh, these gradients aren't quite chakra aligned. That's okay. But suspect, seek, creation, humor, abundance, random, riot, interesting, charity. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about this. I love words. And then the backings. Oh, some of my cards are kind of, well, this card anyway is kind of messed up. It probably just got some gunk on it from production. Hopefully a lot of them aren't like that. Looks like it might be one of the only ones. That's fine. I'll deal. Favor, consistency. Yeah, these seem fine. So yeah, we have some more. Yeah, there's a little bit more scuffing. I don't know if that's something that's going to wipe clean. I don't know if that's showing up on camera. We shall see though. Beauty, vulnerable. I love that that's in there. Obscure, chaos. I'm excited to see how this reads and how it works as a oracle deck. So that's very exciting. Absolute is black, which makes so much sense. Brilliance, which is not white, but is definitely the lightest card, I think, in the deck. Life. Yeah. Eternity, divine, Yeah, these purple ones definitely feel much more sort of crownish. Interesting. Ooh, okay, I really want to shuffle it. Yeah, see, I've got some marks on the fronts too. I don't know what happened in production, but it's like somebody didn't have clean hands or something when they were messing with the cards and it like left marks on them. Because look at, my healing card has some like marks on it too. I don't know what's up with that. That's weird. I've never had a deck come in with that kind of mark on it before. That's weird. But overall, yeah, see, here's another one in keep. It's got like gunk all over it. Really unusual. And I don't, yeah, that's really unusual. Yeah, this one's got some like scuffs and marks along the back too. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Let's just fan out the back. Yeah, quite a few of them have those markings. I don't know, man. I think I'll probably reach out and just let them know that happened. In any case, beautiful. Love the color gradients. Love the words. I love the feeling of this deck. Yeah, liminal. Oh, I love words. Words make me happy. And there's just so many places you can go with a word. It's kind of like having a deck full of tons and tons of keywords, basically, which y'all know I'm a big fan of. And then you get to even go deeper with the definitions in the little dictionary that accompanies it, which is amazing. And it looks like there's even, yep, there's even some synonyms listed on each one. So for example, in energy, it also has force, power, and spark. And then and this is alphabetical, thank goodness. Yep, and we have, do we have force? No. Okay, so I'm wondering if the synonyms are not actually, is power in here? And what about spark? So you can really, yeah, so I think maybe, I'm just taking a wild stab at it, that the synonyms are not also in here. So you get like so much expansion. You can use the synonyms as jumping off points. That's just really exciting. I've been waiting for this one for a while and I'm super excited that it's in. All right, y'all. So that was what came in this month. I didn't bring in a lot. I've been focusing on some of the things that have already come in, and I've been neck deep in all of my projects. But these are the decks that came in the last month or so. I purchased all of these myself. I am really excited to get to know these decks. I'm going to be testing out for sure these two in my next member reading live stream, which if you're a member, we already had by the time you're seeing this video, because time travel when you're making videos, it's how it works. But in any case, I will definitely keep y'all posted. If there's any of these decks you want to see a full detailed walkthrough of, I think I probably already have a walkthrough up of my previous version of the Bohemian Gothic, but if you're interested in seeing in more detail the others, let me know which ones you're most interested in and I will do more of a deep dive into those. But in the meantime, I hope you're having a beautiful December. Thank you so much for hanging out. As always, an extra big thank you goes out to my Unicorn Fam channel members. Thank you so much for all of your support of what I do. It means so, so much. And for those of you watching and commenting and liking and subscribing, I think there's like only 30% of you that are not yet subscribed, so hit the button. Thank you so much for all of your engagement. It really makes what I do here so much easier and it helps me do more of it. So thank you so, so much. And until next time, may your magic always shine from the inside out. Bye.